Hmm. Bit ends
Cody,
with
I'm
that.
Cody, I'm
Oh.
so glad to have you on today.
Oh well, I'm glad you're glad. That's always a pleasure to be on, Robbie.
Yes, I normally do this every year with Justin. I did ask him if he was available to do this today, but he's unavailable, so it looks like it's just the two of us today.
Understand.
Yeah, so the first question I'll ask you is how do you feel about the Oscar nominations?
Well, I am mostly happy. There are a few good surprises in here. I have yet to see the zone of interest. I think this might be one of the. I don't love all 9 films I've seen, but this might be the longest. It might. I can't remember the last time where I was like, these are all really solid films, and I don't think any of them don't deserve to be in the category for Best Picture nomination.
I kind of agree because last year I would have changed Avatar and Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah, those two for sure. But yeah, because there's usually at least two or three, sometimes even four or five, right, with the inclusion of 10 films. But yeah, even though I don't love all 9 of these movies, I'm like, they're all really good, and I can see why they're nominated.
Yeah,
Um, there are some pretty obvious snubs that are not in here that I'm a
yes.
little upset about, but generally, I think they did overall a good job, and I think the growth of the international is showing. And we just need to get some support for animated films in there.
Yes, we do. We do. Didn't anybody listen to Del Toro's speech?
Yeah, I guess we need some more people to rally because we haven't had an animated film nominated for Best Picture since 2010, and we've only had 3 in the history of the award.
Yeah, I think you know me, Cody. I think at least one of them should be animated.
If there's one worthy of being put in, and usually there's at least one almost every year.
Yeah, like Boy and the Heron and Spider Verse could have both gotten in that category.
Easily, easily one of them, if not both of them, could have got in for Best Picture.
Yeah, yes. And with that said and done, let's look at the first category, which is Best Visual Effects. So here we have The Creator, Godzilla Minus One, Guardian 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and Napoleon.
All right, I'm very happy that Godzilla minus one got in. Godzilla is now an Academy nominated character, and I didn't know this till this year, but this is the first time the Mission Impossible franchise has been nominated for an Oscar, which
Nice.
is insane, and which is probably why we should have a best stunt category because clearly
We should.
this franchise had already been represented. But it's kind of crazy they've never been nominated for sound before.
No, I'm surprised since Top Gun 1 sound last year.
Yeah. I haven't seen Napoleon, so I don't know like how well the visual effects are.
It's
But
fine. It's not Ridley Scott's best. Like you picture a Napoleon movie to be better than it was.
yeah,
I
this this
I
seems like the
personally,
odd one in there, but maybe it's the least more prestige. That's usually what
yeah.
I pick.
For me,
Um,
my favorite of these five is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but I think it's gonna go to the creator.
I would not be surprised if the creator actually wins this, even though I think it's a very underseen film. I am rooting for Godzilla minus one to get in to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think the will win will be the creator. What should win for me is Guardians Volume 3.
Hmm. Makes sense.
It does make sense. So the visual effects move into our next category, which is film editing. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure. The nominees for editing are Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Um, if I was in charge of the Academy, I think I would take the Holdovers out and put Spider-Verse in this category because this
Yeah,
is a category.
I personally would to the other four as well. Holdovers is great, but it's the least best editing.
Yeah,
Uh,
the rest of these are impeccably like that's a nothing against Tint who edited the film because he did a good job. It's just I guess the least showy of the other of between the other four films.
yeah, and
Um,
it's weird because on paper it sounds like it should be Falmouth Schoonmakers, but I don't think she needs another award.
I think it's going to Jennifer Lame for Oppenheimer.
Yes, I think that's the winner, and she's a good editor, so she kind of deserves it. And this is a good film for her to win on.
Hmm.
But yes, I'm going with Oppenheimer on that one too. I think that'll be the will win and should win. And next up is Best Costume Design. We have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Why is Oppenheimer in this category?
I know, I know. I would replace Oppenheimer with Wonka personally.
I think it's going to go to Poor Things.
Yes, yeah, that's my should win. I'm not ruling out Barbie.
Oh no, don't rule out Barbie. Barbie, I would be shocked if Barbie ends up not winning at least one award. It'd be
I
kind of
think
crazy if it goes home empty-handed.
yeah, that would be a surprise. That would be a
So,
surprise.
but it's probably going to get Best Song. Is probably the category it's going to win in.
Yes, but what song will it win for? We will talk about that later.
Yeah,
Yes. Now, normally with costume design, you can't have it without this other category because both of them add to the character transformation, and that's best makeup and hair. Do you want to take this away?
sure. The nominees for Best Makeup and Hair are Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. I don't know what Golda is, and I haven't seen Society of the Snow. I'm gonna say this is between Maestro and Poor Things.
I'm going to give this to I think what should win is Poor Things because Maestro's makeup and hair is a bit controversial.
Yeah, but the makeup designer for this is amazing. This guy also did Gary Oldman in The Darkest Hour, and he's like a understudy of Rick Baker, and like how they did Bradley Cooper's nose is really that was top notch.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, don't rule Maestro out, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Poor Things gets this
No,
category.
why is Society of the Snow nominated for makeup and hair? Like they're just they're just Uruguayan stuck in the snow.
Why is Oppenheimer nominated for makeup and hair?
Because they do have to make Robert Downey Jr. look old.
Well, I mean, he is 58 years old. He's not a spring chicken, as they say here in the South.
Well, that too. And plus, at the end, like they're all like made to look really old too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They're all in old age makeup at the end.
Yeah,
Okay. It's a more worthy nomination than the costume one, because that's just men in suits and
yeah.
military uniforms.
But I'm starting to see the pattern. I think Oppenheimer and Poor Things are the two favourites.
Well, they are the two most nominated films of the awards this year.
Yes, and they're nominated in the next category, which is one of my favourite categories cinematography. We have Edward Lachlanman for Al Condi, Rodrigo Pietro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Matthew Libaque, I think, or Libaque for
I'm
Maestro, Hoyt van Hoytema for Oppenheimer, and Robbie Ryan for Poor Things.
I know you're happy that El Condi got in, but this is
Yes,
Oppenheimer's award.
yes, it is. I was surprised Al Condi got in because it's not up for international film or any other. And plus, I know like me and Colin who saw it. Well, hopefully now it's got a nomination, people will watch it more. But
I think a lot of people were surprised Zone of Interest didn't get in this category.
yeah, this is why I think they should bump it up to 6 instead of 5.
But I'm going to say will and should Oppenheimer, though I really think Poor Things is a beautiful looking movie.
I think Poor Things has better cinematography in my head.
I personally think so too, but I just think Oppenheimer's going to win it.
Fair enough. I'm not gonna make jokes about sex scenes today.
Well, um, even though there's a lot in Poor Things and a lot of those are not pleasant to watch, I think they're better filmed than the ones in Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, they are. They are. Yes, and adding to the visuals, we have best production design. Ready?
Yes, and the nominees are Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
This is
I haven't seen
between Barbie and
Napoleon.
Poor Things.
I think so. I think edge to Poor Things, but yeah, I think it's between Barbie and Poor Things. But I haven't seen Napoleon, but of the other four, I think they're worthy of this nomination.
Definitely. I'm not putting you off Napoleon though. Give it a go. So I know you like Ridley Scott, and the
Well,
production design is phenomenal.
I do like Ridley Scott. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite directors because he's very hit or miss for me.
Yeah, this isn't one of his hits, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, Barbie has like little like green screen as well, so I can see why that would win over Poor Things. But the world is more imaginative in Poor Things.
Absolutely.
Does Barbie often like takes place in the real world? It's just Barbie Land and
Hmm.
Will Ferrell's office. That kind of look like it's a big set.
What now, Robbie? Ken learns all about the patriarchy and horses,
It's all
also, and
about
so
it's
does
all about
school.
it's all about the horses. It's all about the horses. And speaking of and now we move on to the sound kind of thing with best sound. And boy, we got some great nominees here. We got the creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and the Zone of Interest.
I think it's going to Oppenheimer. I've heard that the sound and zone of interest is one of the best things. Honestly, they're probably all worthy of an Oscar, all five of these films for this
Yes.
category. But it's going to Oppenheimer.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You don't make a film with quality sound and not win an award for it. And like I was saying to you last week, it kind of made up for Tenet having not so good sound design.
I guess so, yeah.
Yes. And we're continuing on from sound to best original song. Ready, Cody?
Yeah, we have The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot because we can't have a Best Song category without Diane Warren getting
Yes.
an Oscar nomination. I'm Just In from Barbie. I Never Went Away from American Symphony. I'm totally butchering this, which I'm happy this got in because, that's just showing a little spread of recognition here.
Yes.
Wazzy Wazzy from Killers of the Flower Moon and What Was I Made For from Barbie. I feel like that's the safe choice that'll probably end up winning. Also, I don't know how everyone's gonna feel of because when we get to the snubs here, if I'm Just Ken wins best song, even though it's
Well,
a fun song.
that's what I want to win because I think there's a lot of songs missing from this category. Where's Road to Freedom from Rustin?
Yeah, where's Dance the Night Away from Barbie?
Where's Dancing Night Away from Barbie? Where's Steal the Show from Elemental? Where's the song from Asteroid City?
Yeah, we could clearly take the Fire Inside out of here.
I don't mean to sound rude. I can imagine Diane Warren is a very talented songwriter, but I don't think it's fair she gets nominated every year.
She's the Meryl Streep of best song.
She is the Meryl Streep of best song. Now, I have seen Flaming Hot, and I have listened to the song, and it's not a bad song, but it's just kind of just a bit weird that she always like gets nominated, and it's the same with the next category we're going to be talking about next.
Yes, it is.
Best original song. Laura Chapman for American Fiction. And we can't have an Oscar nomination without John Williams, who's nominated for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Robbie Robertson has a posthumous nomination for Killers of the Flower Moon. Jurgen Fetskin for Poor Things and My Will Win, Good Win, Deserves to Win. Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. Where's
Yeah,
Boy? Where's Spider-Verse?
where's Spider-Verse? Take Indiana Jones out of here. Just because he's John Williams, he has a ton of nominations and awards. Yeah,
Yes.
and honestly, you could take American Fiction out too. It's perfectly fine score, but between these other three films that are in here, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like Boy and the Heron and
Yeah, Boy in the Heron and Spider-Verse should have been in here
they
because
should have done.
they're incredible scores. But
I
Tim
mean,
Burton
I hate to say this, but the Globes had better nominations this year.
in some categories, yes, but they also split the acting categories too in Best Picture.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm not gonna know anything about these next couple of nominations.
yeah, we'll skip and just move on to Best International Film if you want.
Not documentary.
Yeah, we'll go documentary actually.
Okay, so we've got Bobby Wine, the People's President, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Mariupol. I think that's what's gonna win. It's
Yeah,
also the only one I've heard of.
yeah, that's what I hope wins. But yeah, where's American Symphony? Where's still a Michael J. Fox movie?
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen those, but I know those are both very praised documentaries from this past year. So
Yeah,
surprising, at least not one of them got in.
yeah. But I hope 20 Days in Mariupol what wins it.
Have you seen that?
I have, yes. It made me. It was the best, one of the best things I've seen all year, and I don't want to watch it again.
Makes sense, dealing with what the subject matter is.
Yes, yes, yes. This could have qualified for our next category, Best International Feature Film, and we have El Capitano from Italy, Perfect Days in Japan. Seriously, why wasn't The Boy and the Heron nominated? Society of the Snow from Spain, The Teacher's Lounge from Germany, and The Zone of Interest from the. I don't even think that's fair. We talk English in the United Kingdom.
But it's international, Robbie. The United States doesn't live in the United Kingdom. Hollywood isn't in the United Kingdom. And it's in German, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, there were some award shows putting past lives in here, but that's an American film.
That shouldn't be nominated either.
But that being said, the zone of interest is winning this category.
Yeah. Although I would have wanted Society of the Snow to win purely because of it's the same as All Quiet from last year, telling a story in the native language.
And I heard Perfect Days is really good. It doesn't come out till like February or March here, though.
Oh, it's the director of Paris, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've only seen Society of the Snow, Spain. I'm sure Zone of
You
Interest is great.
know why France did not submit Anatomy of a Fall as their film?
Well, I was a bit confused why, but then I thought, hang on, it's partly in English, so I don't know whether they were able to the Sisu could have been Finland's choice. Nominate that.
It's
I still
CC
need
was, man, but
I still need
but
to
it's
see Fallen
strange.
Leaves.
Anatomy of a Fall, won the Cannes Film Festival, but I guess they were betting on Taste of Things, which the Academy decided no. Which I
Yeah,
heard is also really a good film.
yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It looks quite interesting. All right, at least I got the two. At least I got the two most important ones here for best animated film.
We do. We're missing one movie though.
We
We
are.
have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should be in here.
Yeah, replace that with Nimona. I'm sure Robot Dreams is great.
But it's between The Boy and the Heron and Spider-Verse. I it could go either way, I think.
So here's the thing: I found out that most of the voters for the animated film category just vote for whoever their kids watch, and everybody in the academy votes for it, not just the animators.
Oh, okay.
Like this is one like people like Miyazaki and Nick Park and Pete Docter and all the great animators should be betting on, not the people in academy that don't give a about animated films.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because most of the categories besides Best Picture is the respected crafts of whatever the nominations are for.
Yeah, and that's what it should be for animated film. The animators.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
honestly, that's kind of how Elemental got in was because a lot of Academy members' kids were watching Elemental because they all had Disney Plus.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Although I love Elemental, so I don't mind it being nominated.
Yeah, it would have been weird if Disney had not had some representation, even though I heard Wish wasn't very good.
No, Wish wasn't very good. I watched it the other day. And on that note, there is a bit of a discussion we are going to have with this category. It's best adapted screenplay. American Fiction by Cord Jefferson, based on the novel Erasure. Barbie from Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, based on a doll. Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan, based on the biography American Fiction. Poor Things by Tony McNamara, based on the novel Zone of Interest by Jonathan Glazer, based on the novel.
Yeah, so because they decided to move Barbie into this category, I think Killers of the Flower Moon got snubbed, which was really an adaptation because they completely changed the format of how the novel was written. Because the novel is more like a true crime investigation, Whereas the film was like, we're gonna already tell you who the people that are doing the horrible things are, and we're just gonna watch you watch this unfold.
Right.
So, um, this is a tough category. This could go a lot of different ways.
I
I'm
know,
saying,
I know, I
I
know, I know. When we were talking last year, as I was saying, I don't get how women talking won against All Quiet, despite them both being important stories. And I think you
mm,
said something like along the lines of women talking kind of has like the standard classic Hollywood kind of formula.
hmm it's the
And
dialogue where there's hardly any dialogue in All Quiet.
yeah, so judging based on that, the winner sounds like it should be Oppenheimer.
And it very well could, but if they want to spread the love around, this definitely could be Poor Things could win. There's a world in which they give American Fiction this Oscar because it'll be the only Oscar it's going to get. Or Barbie could end up winning this because it's the only thing they can give Greta Gerwig an Oscar for, since she didn't get in for director.
But it shouldn't really be an adaptation because it's an original story.
It totally is. It's ridiculous. And honestly, I don't know. If I had to rank these, I would say first place is probably between Oppenheimer and Poor Things, then Barbie, then American Fiction, then Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I get you. I get
But
you. But yeah,
they could give this award to either Barbie or Poor Things because we know Christopher Nolan's getting another Oscar later in the night.
yes, I think he will be. And on that note, let's talk about best original screenplay. Ready,
And,
Cody?
and the nominees are Anatomy of a Fall, Justin Trier and Arthur Harari. The Holdovers, David Hemmingson. Maestro, Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer. May December by Sammy Birch. And Past Lives by Celine Song. I actually really like all these films in this category.
Yes, I've
If I
seen all
was gonna,
five of these.
if I was gonna take one out, I would take Maestro out. I'm happy May December got in here. The only thing it got nominated for, since apparently actors hated this movie for some reason.
Right. Yeah, I
Um,
would probably replace Maestro with Saltburn.
but I think this is between Anatomy of a Fall and The Holdover. And then might go to Anatomy of a Fall since The Holdovers is getting at least one, if not two awards.
Yeah, I think on paper, if I was going to pick up a script and say I'll produce this, it would be Anatomy of a Fall.
Well, yeah, because it's just a courtroom drama with a murder mystery on top of it.
Yeah, which is done better than Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh, absolutely is a much better than Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yeah, but yeah, I think, but yeah, the Holdovers is more of a comedy. Those kind of movies don't win anymore, so it'd be nice if the Holdovers win. But yeah, I think the safe bet is Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah. I'm just happy May December and Past Lives got in. They're not winning, but they're both great screenplays.
Yeah, if the Oscars had a best directorial debut, film Past Lives would be the winner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to read out best supporting actress, and we have Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle
hmm
Brooks for Color Purple, American Ferrara for Barbie. That was a big surprise.
It was
Jodie
a big surprise.
Jodie Foster for Naiad, and my will win should win. Divine Joy Randolph for the Holdovers.
Uh, Same. She's winning. She should win. Yeah, America Ferrera getting in was a bit of a shock, which I was even more shocked when they announced Best Actress because I thought this was just confirming, you know, how much they liked Barbie, but I guess
Yeah.
I was wrong. Um, yeah, other than that, that's all the people that have mostly been getting nominated, even though it's the only nomination The Color Purple got, but from what I hear, she's the best part of the movie. Um, and same thing with Naiad, even though it's not a very well beloved movie and the real life figure's controversial, I've heard Jodie Foster's the best part of that movie. Plus, she's got True Detective season 4 right now, so there's a lot of Jodie Foster appreciation going on.
Yes.
Um,
I just don't think this is Emily Blunt's time. I'm glad she's got her first
yeah,
nomination.
I'm glad she got her first nomination, even though it's not one of her best performances, but that's not her fault. That's just the characters is not very well written for the story.
Yeah, she's very underwritten. Like I said to you guys, I get Florence Pugh was playing a minor role, but Mrs. Oppenheimer should have had a bit more to do.
Yeah, but this is always an issue, not just with Christopher Nolan films, but with a lot of bio movies about great men. The wife character usually is not very well written. And that's, I think, why a lot of people thought Penelope Cruz might get in because that is not the case in Ferrari.
Mrs. Ferrari's given more to do.
Oh, absolutely. And even Shailene Woodley as the other woman, even though I don't know why they cast her as an Italian, because she has an atrocious Italian accent, but she is also her own character and is not just there to service Mr. Ferrari.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Maybe he needs to have a chat with Michael Mann about how to write women.
Maybe, which is kind of crazy because I don't know if Michael Mann is known for his great female characters, but because his movies are mostly very masculine.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I did
I
like the
mean, he
daughter
even has
character.
some interesting female characters in his films, even in Heat, even though they're not there much, they are interesting characters.
Definitely,
And Last of the Mohicans.
definitely. So, who would you take out of Best Supporting Actress? As I would personally take out Jodie Foster and put Rosamund Pike for Saltburn in there. And yet,
I
where's
would put I probably Jodie Foster. I mean, also maybe Emily Blunt, even though Emily Blunt's never been nominated because it's just not the performance. I would like to have seen Rachel McAdams in here for "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret."
that would have been a good performance to nominate. But yes, we're going to move to the Best Supporting Actor. Cody,
And the
ready?
nominees are Sterling K. Brown from American Fiction, Robert De Niro from Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Um, I mean, this isn't a big shock. I think a lot of people were really hoping Charles Melton would get in, but as that movie got less and less support, this seemed to be the five that were going to get nominated. I'm
You
glad
know,
it was
you know who should be nominated in this category?
who.
Glenn Howerton.
There's a lot of people that said Glenn, but who would you take out?
I'll take out De Niro. Nothing against his performance, but he's already won 3 Oscars.
Three? I thought he just had two.
No, Godfather,
And Raging
Godfather,
Bull.
and Raging. Oh, I thought he won 3. Sorry.
No, he's only got two. But I mean, yeah, yeah, okay. I'm just glad of the Poor Things guys, it was Ruffalo instead of Defoe. Even though I love Willem Dafoe as an actor, Mark Ruffalo had more to do in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. definitely.
And he's giving a very fun performance.
I think that's my favorite performance of Mark Ruffalo's because he doesn't have the typical boss, the strong Boston accent. He's just he's trying to play like this witty but cunning lawyer.
But I think this is Robert Downey Jr.'s Oscar.
Oh, yes, it's been building to this moment.
I just don't see it happening. I don't see, and if in some weird world Ryan Gosling won, that would be even more like it would not be good for his career to get an Oscar right now for this performance.
Yeah, although that was a good performance by him, and it was nice to see him play a different character to his normal typecast.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, and he wasn't great in the movie. I'm just saying it'll be better for Robert Downey Jr. to win because there's this whole it's his time kind
Yeah,
of thing around.
yeah, but at least with Oppenheimer, it's a good performance for him to win on.
That's true. It won't be like a Al Pacino scent of a woman type of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know think Jamie Lee Curtis shouldn't have won last year.
Well, she shouldn't have been the one that was nominated, but I'm not upset about her winning because she's Jamie Lee Curtis. But I understand that.
Yeah, although my heart says Angela Bassett should have won.
Yeah, which right before, well, actually, you might have heard me saying it when we were recording. It's sad that she's getting an honorary award this year, and she hasn't even gotten an Oscar for acting yet.
I know. Like, why didn't more people watch Strange Days in 1995? That could have gave her a win.
That was never gonna give her an Oscar for Best Actress, but yeah, that movie is criminally or was criminally underrated at the time. It's kind of become a cult classic, and I don't know if it's streaming in the UK, but when it dropped on Max for streaming last year, people went crazy because it's a movie that's been hard to find
Nice.
because they haven't released it on Blu-ray or 4K. There's only a DVD copy of it,
Wow, I'll have to have a look around.
which they finally released. Speaking of Catherine Bigelow movies that haven't gotten proper releases, they finally released Blue Steel on Blu-ray and 4K.
Nice. I keep meaning to check out her whole filmography.
Well, if you haven't seen that one, that is definitely one worth checking out, which has Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh well, oh well. Did you want to read out Best Actress and I'll do Best Actor?
Okay, that's fine. And we have the nominees. Annette Bening for Naiad. You'll know why I emphasize that name later, even though I haven't seen the movie yet. Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan for Maestro. And Emma Stone for Poor Things. Where is Margot Robbie?
Where's Margot Robbie? Where's Natalie Portman? Where's Julianne Moore? Where's Greta Lee?
Yes. Honestly, take Annette Bening right out of here. And even though the film kind of centers on her, and I know she's your girl, I love her too, but take Carey Mulligan out and put Greta Lee and Margot Robbie in.
Yes, that would have been perfect.
Because Lily definitely deserves to be in here, and so does Sandra Hüller. I know a lot of people thought Sandra Hüller was going to be doubly nominated this year.
But she hasn't. But I just want to say one thing. In my head, it's Emma's.
Oh, I think so. I think it's happening. She's getting her second Oscar. I'm sorry, and not only and nothing against Lily Gladstone because it's the best performance in the movie in my mind. But I
Definitely.
think the other thing, besides all the things that Emma Stone's doing in this movie, the one thing that people are probably going to sway more her way is that she's the lead of the movie. Because you could argue that Lily is not the lead of Killers of the Flower Moon,
She's
even
to
though,
co-lead with Leo.
yeah,
who isn't in this race.
No, but who would you take out?
I'm happy with all five of these nominees. We have Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Sorry, Bradley, I think you're going to be the joke of the internet. Coleman Domingo for Rustin. Paul Diamante for The Holdovers. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. And Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem kind of wild he didn't get in because it is actually a different kind of performance for Leo, right? Because he's kind of playing a naive idiot, which is interesting. And he's also believably playing a horrible person, but at the same time, you can see he still loves his wife, even though he's like doing horrible things to her.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard to do as an actor. And he did it. And he was originally supposed to play the Jesse Plemons role, but he decided that that character would be more of an interesting take.
If they swapped roles, the movie would have probably been better. Because I can see Jesse Plemons pulling off that kind of role better. Because I've seen him obviously in Breaking Bad pull off that role.
Yeah, but then the focus of the movie would have changed, right? It would have been originally what they were going to write it on and be more of a faithful of adaptation of the novel.
That sounds a lot better, a lot more fast paced, and a lot more to the point.
But I think they wanted to talk about the atrocities more and like what it did to these Osage people and how it's not being shown or being talked
This
about in
is
our
the
history
man
of
who
class.
co-wrote and directed Goodfellas, which tells a really interesting story. Why couldn't he bring that level of writing to Goodfellas? No, to Killers of Flower Moon.
Because it's a different kind of thing he's doing here.
Right.
Yeah. And
But
he's not the same man he was 30 years ago either.
no.
Also, he's contemplating his mortality. And like, is this, he says he's going to make another movie, but he also said he didn't know how many more stories he has left in him. And also, he's wanting to pay respect and homage to these people that were horribly wronged, and all their money and their land was taken by these people. And then it was just forgotten.
Yeah, I kind of see your point. I kind of see your
But
point. I get that he was trying to do that, but he could have done it like where like just where like he's like telling the story about how it happened, and they cut in between to all the bad things happen, like his other
I
movies, like
I
they.
understand that probably would have been a more commercial and successful film, but it's also a film we've seen 1,000 times before.
Yeah, I get what you mean. He wanted to do
We've
something
seen
different,
the
and
true crime investigative procedural film, and it probably would have been extremely well made because it's Scorsese. Because like even like the man hardly makes a bad movie,
no, he doesn't
but
make a bad movie at all.
you haven't seen Boxcar Bertha.
No,
Not
I
that
haven't.
great. Um, it's between Paul and Killian.
Yes.
And I honestly, it could go either way because Paul could end up winning because it could be the same scenario with Robert Downey Jr. It's his time, he's well respected, but they could just spread the Oppenheimer love around and Killian wins.
Yeah. I'm happy that both Coleman and Jeffrey got in because I
I am,
thought it was going to be one or the other.
yeah, because I was afraid it was going to be just Jeffrey Wright. And I know that a lot of people say Rustin is not that great of a movie, it's just a performance, but it's glad that an actor of his caliber is finally being recognized.
Okay, I'll admit it is a bit of a slow burn and a lot of information, but it's still enjoyable. It's not the worst movie of 2023. It's not Ruby Gilman.
No, but I think people are saying it's just a traditional bio movie. It's not like uh, it's not as good as these other films.
I could say the same about Maestro.
Maestro is not a typical bio movie though, because it doesn't even follow the person who the movie's supposed to be about. It's more about the wife than it is Leonard Bernstein.
But you see him and all his buddies.
Yeah, but they don't even show us like the highlights of his career. Like we don't even see anything from West Side Story. They just mention
All,
West
all,
Side.
all on the waterfront. We just hear the
Yeah,
music.
yeah. Same with West Side. We just hear the music. Yeah. So I would not say Maestro is a typical bio movie, but it's not like the best bio movie either. But I know people who absolutely love Maestro.
I thought it was good, but not great. I preferred Rustin.
I haven't seen Rustin, so I can't say. But I think the other thing is people are like Bradley Cooper's direction too.
Yeah. Well, I like the Ma Rainey's Black Bottom director, and he's done a good job so far with the two movies I've seen by him. He's definitely more of a performance-driven director, like Mike Nichols or Sam Mendes.
Ah, wonder if he's got a theater background too.
I think he does. I think he does. All right, Cody. Let's talk about your favorite category, best director.
Yeah, the nominees are Justin Trier for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. No
Right.
Margot Robbie.
No Greta Gerwig. No
Yeah,
Celine
Greta
Song.
Gerwig
No
is what
Emerald
I'm
Fennell.
still upset about Best Actress. Yeah, no Greta Gerwig for Best Director. Can we not nominate two women in the same category in Best Director? Is that
They
like
did,
against?
they did 2 years ago. They had Chloe Zhao and Emerald Fennel.
Yeah, that was a COVID year though, so that's probably how it happened.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think Emerald should have won over Chloe personally, but Chloe did a great job with
absolutely.
Nomadland.
But I'm with you. I prefer Promising Young Woman over Nomadland as a movie.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure.
I don't know who you take out though, because this shows you exactly how the international is growing. Because we've got Glazer and Trier both in here, which would normally not happen. Only one of them would have got in.
It's just weird how the bloke who directed Sexy Beast is nominated for an Oscar.
Well, you could also say I don't know what Greta Gerwig was in as an actor. I'm sure she did something silly or weird, you know.
A couple of rom-coms.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a big glowing admission. She directed the biggest movie of the year. It was critically acclaimed. You know, most people like it unless you're an edge lord or an angry man baby who said it had a feminist agenda. Which, so what? Calm down.
Yeah. Or you just plain didn't think it was your thing. Fair enough.
Maybe, but I'm sure there might be some people who are just like, yeah, it's fine. Um,
But yeah, it feels like Glazier's nominated to give Nolan the rival because they both kind of came out around the same time.
I feel like Glazer is just here because of how much the industry loves Zone of Interest. Um, I don't think he's rivaling Nolan at all. I think this is Nolan's.
Yeah, no
Period. Simple.
brainer.
Um, Martin Scorsese is now the most nominated director living. The only other director that's been nominated more than Scorsese is William Wyler. Scorsese. This is Scorsese's 10th nomination.
So he beat Stevie.
Yes, Steve only has 9.
He best start making movies then.
Come on, 77-year-old Spielberg, get one more director nomination out there.
and Touch won the win.
Well, he already has two, so Scorsese only has one. But yeah, it's Nolan. It's
Yeah, it's
Nolan.
Nolan's. About to say some directors have three.
But well, if you count Best Picture, then Spielberg has more. But I don't think anyone's won. Well, I don't know.
John
I'd have to
Ford
look.
John Ford's won the most with four.
Right, he has one for. You're correct. Okay, nobody living, no living director, I think has more than two.
No, no living director.
I forgot Ford. Yeah, Ford has four.
Yeah,
Um,
Ang Lee, Alfonso Cuarón. I don't think Clint Eastwood's going to win another Oscar now. Inarritu could. Spielberg could. Oliver Stone technically could, but again, he's like Eastwood. He's quite old. And they're the only ones that could win three.
hmm And Cuarón has won two Best Directing Oscars without winning Best Picture,
I know that's an achievement in its own right.
which I think Roma won Best International.
Yeah,
But
it did.
so I guess that kind of counts.
It did. All right, ready to talk about the best picture
Let's do it.
nominee? So we have American Fiction. You say the other one.
Anatomy of a Fall,
Barbie,
The Holdovers,
Killers of the Flower Moon,
Maestro,
Oppenheimer,
Past Lives,
Poor Things.
and The Zone of Interest.
Yeah, because me and you are Academy members, Cody, Poor Things is not going to win.
No, I don't think so. Also, I think there's a lot of people who will probably put Poor Things at number one, but there's probably people that are going to put Poor Things at number 10.
Yeah, it's the Babylon of this year.
I feel like Oppenheimer's winning this, and it's probably going to be safely in a lot of people's number twos and number threes that don't put it at number one.
Did you see Zone of Interest winning and swooping like Parasite did?
I don't think so because Parasite had momentum already at this point in the awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It
I
was
think
just
Zone
a
of
film
Interest
that came out of nowhere and people loved it.
I think Zone of Interest is getting international, and that'll probably be the only award it gets. I know it's up for five. I think Poor Things is going to get quite a few Oscars. Past Lives, I think, is going home empty-handed. It only has two nominations.
Yep.
Maestro's probably going home empty-handed. Honestly, that's probably the one I would take out if I was going to take a movie out of this
What would you
category.
put in Saltburn?
No, I would not put Saltburn in here. It would be Spider-Verse or Boy in the Heron for me. One of those two.
Yeah, I would probably say Spider-Verse or Boy and the Heron.
I like
Um,
Saltburn, but it is not a Best Picture nominee.
yeah, I get what you mean.
Uh, Killers could very well go home empty-handed, especially if Lily does not win and it goes to Emma. Um, but yeah, I think the two movies that are gonna give Oppenheimer a run for its money are Poor Things and The Holdovers.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Not just with on paper, but the whole narrative they kind of go with. Is I've worked out whilst I've been like doing this with you guys, that it's all a big narrative with these awards.
Also, The Holdovers is another movie that could very well be a lot of people's number two and number three.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
I'm sure there's a lot of older Academy members. This might even be their number one.
probably. Although, although the way I look at it is, if they have a Best Director nomination, they have more of a chance.
That's true. And The Holdovers does not have an Alexander Payne nomination, though Alexander Payne is probably glad he didn't get nominated if Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, she should be where Justine is really. Like, I don't want to take Justine out,
no,
but
because she did an incredible job, and we shouldn't take one woman out for another. They could
yeah,
have both been here.
yeah,
But like I said, I don't know who you take out because I haven't seen the zone of interest to say that Jonathan Glazer doesn't deserve to be in here. Maybe they should maybe they should increase the director to 10 people since there's 10 films.
so you're suggesting 10 for Best Picture, 10 for Best Director, and the rest have 6.
Why not?
Yeah, that sounds like a good. That sounds a good idea. Hold that thought. I might use that for the Flemings next year.
I'm just saying because you know, Celine Song, Bradley Cooper, Alexander Payne, Greta Gerwig, even Cord Jefferson, like they all did a good job of directing. Some of them did amazing jobs directing. Why
Yeah,
don't they deserve to get recognized?
yeah, exactly. It kind of defeats the whole point of them being, of because directors. It's the hardest job in the world. The world in the film industry. I wanted to be a film director for years, but helping my friend out when he
And if
was
they did
doing
increase it to 10, I guarantee you there'd always be one person that got put in there that wasn't one of the 10 films up for Best Picture
that's a
because
great.
the directors nominate the directors.
Yeah, see that would be interesting if you had 10 directors and one of them wasn't one of the best picture directors.
I mean, it happened all the time when it was only 5 films nominated for Best Picture.
Exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, I guess that does boost Zone and Anatomy of a Fall up because they both got director noms.
Yeah,
But
yeah, Miyazaki. Why don't animation directors ever get nominated for best director?
yeah, why isn't Miyazaki in here? But yeah, there's a world where American Fiction, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, and Past Lives all go home empty-handed.
Yes, which is sad because I think every movie should at least win one award or a tiny bit of recognition.
Yeah, but I mean,
How
Oppenheimer's
many
gonna
great
get the
films
most.
went home empty-handed last year?
I mean, Oppenheimer's gonna win the most. I think Poor Things is gonna win the second most. Zone of Interest and Barbie are at least getting one, and I think Anatomy of a Fall is gonna win the screenplay category.
Yes,
And Holdovers is at least getting one, if not two. So yeah,
de- definitely. Oh, well, Justine and Arthur are actually a couple.
are they? That makes sense. Wonder how much of their relationship got put into the film.
You could say the same with Greta and Noah, as they're a couple.
That's true. That's true. Um,
I wonder if Greta wrote Barbie's bits, Ken and Noah wrote Ken's bit, and when they finished off the storyline, they were like, "So where's the message?"
it could be. I mean, I don't know how they work together, but I mean, they did an incredible job, and congrats on all their huge success, especially for Greta. I think she'll do an interesting thing with Narnia, though I'd like to see her do something original.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her take on Narnia.
I mean, she hasn't proved me wrong. She did a Little Women adaptation that might be the best version of it, and then she made the Barbie movie and made it better than anyone expected it to be.
Yes, definitely. And
And
I can see a whole Barbie franchise out of this movie too.
well, I mean, I'm sure Warner Brothers wants that, but I don't know how interesting that is without Greta and Margot.
I'm sure Margot and Ryan will be back at least.
It feels like Margot doesn't want to come back, but we'll see. But Greta Gerwig is one of the only people I know that all of her first three films have been nominated for Best Picture.
Wow. That is a good there's a good there's a good result.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, and too many people can say that.
yes. Oh, Wes Anderson could win his first Oscar here because he's nominated in the short film category.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He might win. I mean, I'm happy for him. It's kind of sad Wes Anderson's Oscars going for a short film.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, well, he didn't win anything for Grand Budapest, so that's the only time the Academy's recognized him, I think. Other than maybe he got some screenplay noms before.
Screenplay and animated film twice. He just released an
Oh yeah,
animated
that's
film in the
right.
wrong year.
Fantastic Mr. Fox and both Isle of Dogs were nominated.
Yeah, he just needs to
Hmm.
release. He just needs to release his third one at the right time.
The
Not
2009 animated films, that's a stacked year for animation.
same with 2018. That you had Incredibles 2, Spider Verse, and Isle of Dogs, and I think all three of them are solid.
Yeah, but I could see why Spider-Verse won.
Well, definitely, I had the most unique animation.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on the nominees. I kind of agree with all of them apart from the John Williams one.
Yeah, get John Williams out of there. No disrespect to the man, the legend, but Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, you just throwing him a bone there. Yeah, that should have been Spider-Verse or Boy and the Heron.
Definitely.
Yeah. I can't remember if there was something else people were saying should have been in for score too. But yeah, um overall, good nominees. I'm just upset about the whole Greta and Margot snub.
More
That's the
Greta than Margot for me.
it's the movie's called Barbie, and she did an incredible job. And not only did she star in it and sell the movie, she's also a producer on the film.
Which she
So
is nominated for.
yeah, but she should have also been nominated for Best Actress.
She
Annette
should.
Bening, Annette Bening, you're a legend, but come on, I'm sorry.
She can do better than Nyad.
She's done better than Nyad. She's got a illustrious career of great performances. And yeah, she's just sadly one of those great actors that has not been recognized yet by the Academy. But she's not winning this year either, so
No,
it's
no.
just it's just it's just it just feels a little bit like the Academy punishing Barbie for being a popular movie.
Yeah, but they let the most popular movie from last year win.
Well, it wasn't the highest grossing movie of last year. Barbie is the highest grossing movie of last year.
But Everything Everywhere was quite a popular movie.
It was a very popular movie, but I guess technically, what, Avatar was the highest grossing movie, or Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that was just them being in the zeitgeist, which they get it right. Which, I mean, Oppenheimer winning is not like them not being in the zeitgeist. It's just Oppenheimer's a more traditional Academy movie.
Yes,
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a very well made traditional Academy movie.
which I find a bit weird. They're introducing these new diverse rules, but yet the winner is going to be a film about a white man.
Well, I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, for every Moonlight, there's a Green Book.
Yes.
And I mean, you know, Coda won in 2021, which I guess everybody just wanted to feel good because we had just gotten out of COVID. So I think that's what
The only movie I don't like that's won Best Picture is Shakespeare in Love.
you just don't like that movie at all.
No, I've watched it twice and I think, how did this beat Saving Private Ryan, The Thin Red Line, Life is Beautiful, and Elizabeth?
I have two words for you: Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
Also,
Harvey
I like
Weinstein.
Shakespeare in Love more than Crash.
Yeah, again, Brokeback Mountain is better.
Yep, Brokeback Mountain should have won. Actually, any of the other movies that were up for Best Picture that year should have won over Crash.
I'm about to say Munich Rules.
Munich Rules, Good Night, Good Luck is great. Capote is an interesting bio movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those are better movies than Crash. Also, Green Book shouldn't have won. There's like at least 5 other movies that were better.
Black Klansman or The Favourite should have won.
Yeah, or even A Star Is Born.
Even Black Panther wouldn't have
Yep,
been a bad
even
winner.
Black Panther should have won over Green Book.
I'd say the weakest looking back is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that shouldn't even have been nominated for Best Picture. But Rocket Man was not recognized, and that's a much better movie.
I know, right?
Yeah, Rocket Man's better than Bohemian Rhapsody. And Taron Egerton wasn't even nominated.
I know.
And Rami Malek has an Oscar.
He's good.
Yeah, he's fine. But I like Taron Egerton's performance better.
I get what you mean. They're both fantastic actors. But yeah, that's it for the Oscar talk for now. Let us know what you think to the Oscars down in the comment below. And I think I will have to bring you back after the Oscars so we can talk about the winners. And I'll try and see if Justin's up for it. Hopefully he's not as cranky, being like, I'm done with awards. No, we just need to talk about the Oscars. One more. We just want to talk about the Oscar results, and then we'll move on.
Interesting.
Yes. Okay, did you have any final? Sorry, you go first.
I'm looking forward to the Academy Awards as always, and we'll see if we're right. But yeah, I'm interested to see what Justin's top 10 is, since he's like, I don't like any of these movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're all pretty good to me. Like, I don't dislike any of these movies.
Yeah, well, you know what Justin likes? He likes to be different.
Yeah, that's true.
And we all know he secretly loves Barbie.
Secretly, he's wearing pink right now. Got that Dua Lipa song on loop.
Yep. The whole soundtrack.
Pretty good soundtrack overall.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Right. Let's end things here today. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to this channel. Comment down your thoughts on the Oscars, and me and Cody will see you next time. Cody, it's been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.